Hi, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Juliana.
Last summer, we traveled to Kenya and were struck by the women we met there. They were powerful, well-educated, and far different from the images that the media often portrays of women in developing countries.
Their stories have had a dramatic influence on the way we see the world and how we live our lives every day. Our experiences led us to creating this video, which is a chance to tell the stories of the women we met to those who would not otherwise hear them.
We wanted to find out what Western students know and think about women in developing countries. In order to do this, we had to start from somewhere.
You know, an American woman, what does she represent? Like, who is she?
I have no idea. I don't know too much about it. And I've have yet to complete my women's studies GUR here. But
the American woman is it represents strength and intelligence because we work so hard just to get where we are that we can't help but be strong.
Taking a more, I guess, American context in terms of what the typical woman is, I'd say it's someone who has a very important place in society that they've had to work very hard to attain.
Back to what is American? I define myself as an American woman, and even though other people might not, I do.
But we're also provided with all of these incredible opportunities. I'm so thankful that I get a college education.
I think an American woman has a lot of opportunities that someone in a developing country might not have.
What a lot of Americans understand is what the worst things that ever happened to us in our entire lives aren't even nearly as bad as what they go through every day in developing countries. So, yeah.
In other countries, they're more community oriented, and I think that's really important.
And just in kind of a survival mode, depending what country you're talking about, right. Though. But
So when I think of a woman in the developing world, I think of someone who is really on the rise in terms of a lot of the programs that are going on to try and bring about a lot of social change. They're starting with women. A lot of small businesses that I hear about in developing countries are starting with women. So I see women as really a source of a lot of hope.
If it's something, a lot of photo documentaries and people who are taking pictures from third world countries are taking pictures of impoverished people to get the word out. I think there is concern on the superficial kind of level as people are here because they have better things to worry about, like eating, having shelter. It's women's rights definitely don't exist in a lot of countries.
I feel there's an assumption that that women of color or that women who are living in a developing world are victims and that they're totally powerless. But I'm only speaking from my own experience as a white, able-bodied, privileged young woman who's educated. I don't feel we have the right to say that anybody else is a victim or that anybody else is not as powerful as we are.
Sylvia is a woman living and working in Kochia, Kenya. She moved here along with her husband after their marriage. Immediately, she saw the state of extreme poverty within the community. Sylvia began feeding a handful of orphans who came by her hut. They continued to come, and she continued to feed them. Eventually, she quit her job and began taking care of the children full-time, as well as started a series of income-generating projects with her husband, such as selling cooked chicken and renting out a motorbike. The orphanage quickly turned into a school, which now has 100 students enrolled, around 20 of whom are orphans and live at the school. Sylvia also provides medical services to the community. One afternoon, while talking with her, she told us how she had delivered a baby the night before on the steps where we stood. She's an example of how much people are capable of and the importance of not waiting for a solution to come to you.
There are 132 students at Umbogo Girls Academy. Their ambition and drive inspires us. Ask any girl from Umbogo and she will have ingenuous ideas about how to better her community. One student, Elsie, wants to be a pediatrician. Her dream is to one day see the healthy children running around outside her clinic. While many of them have glorified ideas of one day coming to the United States, most understand the impact that they can make in their own communities. These young women are determined to make their future. Change starts with them.
Maasai women in Maraweshi continue to gain more autonomy, especially as more and more girls are able to go to school. Maasai women find great joy in beauty, donning meticulously handcrafted jewelry and wearing vibrant cloths of red, blue, orange, and purple hues. Their jewelry also serves as an accompaniment to their voices as they sing and dance.
We hope that this video has allowed you to peek into the lives of women in Kenya through the ones that we were able to forge bonds with. It is impossible to represent their uplifting and joyful spirits without them here.
What we have told you is just one piece of their whole story. It is important to remember that the women shown here are just as capable as those by your side, as those sitting next to you, as those in this room.
Nada